Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Easy Learn. And today's topic is algebra, within which we're going to be doing quadratic equations, and it's practice time today. To begin with, we've already discussed that quadratic equations can be solved using three methods. The first one, zero factor property, second one, completing the square, and the third one, the quadratic formula. Now, if you want to watch the explanation for all these three methods, you can pause right here, check the links in the description below, go understand the concept, and then you can come back for solving. So today's question looks something like this. Shown is a right angled triangle. Show that 11x squared minus 62x minus 105 is equal to 0. Now, as you can see, we have three lengths right here. One is 2x plus 10, the other one is 4x minus 2, and the third one is x plus 3. Now, in order to show something, we obviously need to prove it. We need to prove that how these three lengths are equal to 11x squared minus 62x minus 105. Now, as you can see, this is a right angled triangle. And whenever you're dealing with the lengths of right angled triangle, you use the Pythagoras theorem. The Pythagoras theorem looks something like this. Now, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The horizontal and vertical lengths are always your a's and your b's, and the one that is the diagonal length is always known as your c. So you have to use the Pythagoras theorem to and put in the lengths here, that is the ABC that you can see, 4x minus 2x plus 3 and 2x plus 10. You put that in and then you are going to solve, you're going to simplify the answers. Let's try and do that. So in place of my a squared, in place of my a, I have x plus 3, and that I'm going to take whole squared because it's a squared plus b squared, so x plus 3 whole squared plus I'm going to take my vertical length, that is 2x plus 10. So I'm going to put 2x plus 10 again inside, and outside I have a whole squared is equal to 4x minus 2 whole squared again because it's a c squared. Now that I have this specific representation, this means that I got to open up. And for opening up, you cannot just do, okay, x times squared. If x squared, and then 3 squared, 9. So I'm just going to write x squared plus 9. That's going to be wrong. You must know another identity, another property, that is, if you have something like this, a plus b whole squared, it opens up to something like this, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, either you directly open up like that, or you can do it step by step. You can like break it down and take some baby steps. We're going to try both the methods. Now, let's suppose if I'm trying to open up x plus 3. So one of the ways to do is I'm going to do x plus 3, and then because it's a square means that the number multiplied by itself. So x plus 3 multiplied by itself means x plus 3. So if I want to multiply this, if I want to square it up, I'm going to do x times x. So x times x gives me x squared. Then I'm going to do x times the 3 over there. So x times 3 gives me 3x. Then the next step, 3 times the x. So that gives me another 3x. And then 3 times the 3, that gives me a 9. Now, if I simplify this again, if I solve it further, then as you can see that x squared and 9 do not have any like terms with each other. But 3x and 3x are like terms to each other, so 3x plus 3x is 6x. So I'm going to write x squared plus 3 plus 3 is 6, 6x plus 9. So this is one of the terms I'm getting. Now, if I try the 2x plus 10 whole squared, I'm going to try it with this arrangement, that is a plus b whole squared equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So if I do 2x plus 10 whole squared, now the first part is I got to do a squared. So what's my a here? This is my a and that's my b. So I got to open up by doing a squared, which means I got to do 2x squared. So 2x squared means 2 times 2, that is a 4, and x times the square, so it's just x squared. So I got 4x squared. Then the next part is 2ab, right? According to this arrangement, a squared, I already got my a squared as my 4x squared, and then the 2ab means 2 times a times b. So 2, now if I do 2 times the a, that is 2x, times the b, that is my 10. So I'm going to do 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 10, 40, and I get a 40x here. And then I gotta do my b square. Now my b is 10, so I gotta do 10 squared. 10 squared just means 100. Now if I try doing using this arrangement, or I could have opened up, even if I would have opened up and if I would have a 2x plus 10 with a 2x plus 10, then again 2x times 2x would give me 4x squared, 2x times 10x would give me a 20x, and then 10 times a 2x again 20x, so that would be 20 plus 20 again a 40x, and 10 times 10 100. So this is just an easier way of solving a problem like this, so that you don't go into 3 4 steps. You can just simply take one step and you're done. So now I have x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus 4x squared plus 40x plus 100 is equal to, before we open up the equals part, it's just better to solve the stuff that is on the left hand side. So let me just keep the right hand side the way it is, 4x minus 2 whole squared. Let it be the way it is. Now here on the left hand side, you can see that there are a lot of like terms with each other. Now x squared is a like term to 4x squared. So x squared means there's an invisible 1 here. So 1 plus 4 is a 5, which means 5x squared. Secondly, I have 6x here and a 40x. So 6x is like terms with the 40x, so 40 plus 6 is a 46. So I have 5x squared plus 46x. Now the last one, I have a 9 and a 100. Now both of them are numbers, so they're obviously like terms to each other. Now if I do a 9 plus a 100, it's going to give me 109. So I'm going to write 5x squared plus 46x plus 109 is equal to 4x minus 2 whole squared. Now, the last part, that this 4x minus 2 whole squared also needs to be opened up. So for that, again, it's completely your wish that either you break it down, you do 4x minus 2 times 4x minus 2 and then solve it, or you use the a squared plus 2ab plus b squared arrangement and find it out. So I'm just going to use the arrangement a plus b whole squared thing. So I'm going to do, if I have 4x, so that's my a, I'm just going to put 4x and that is whole squared plus 2 times, let's say this is my a and this is my b, the 2 times 4x times negative 2, and then plus b squared, so my b is negative 2, so negative 2 squared. Now 4x squared, 4 times 4 is 16, and 16, so 16x squared, and then I have 2 times 4, 8, 8 times negative 2, that is negative 16, and an x with it, so 16x squared minus 16x, and then I have a negative 2 whole squared, which is 2 times 2 is 4, and negative obviously, because when we do negative 2 times negative 2, negative and negative gives me positive, so I'm going to write plus 4. So now I have 16x squared minus 16x plus 4. Now this is what I got after I did 4x minus 2 whole squared. Now the left hand side is this and the right hand side is this. So let me just put them together. So I have 5x squared plus 46x plus 109 equals 16x squared minus 16x plus 4. Now that I have this specific arrangement, what I gotta do is I obviously need to take it on one side, because as you can see on both sides I have x squared and x squared, so I can't just keep it like that. One thing you need to know, now once you see that you have x squares involved, it means that you are dealing with a quadratic equation. And a quadratic equation always comes in a form like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. It's a one single equation with one x squared, one x, and then one c, which is technically a number. A, b, c, all of them are numbers, and x squared and x stays constant. So that means I gotta take everything on one side and form it into a one single equation. Now, if you look at this carefully, here there's a 16x squared. If I were to take 16x squared to the other side, it would turn into a negative 16x squared, and then 5 minus 16 would give me a minus 11, and I don't want an x squared to be negative. Whichever is your highest coefficient, you always try and keep it positive. So in order to keep my highest coefficient, that is the x squared, positive, I would just prefer taking the 5x squared, 46x, and 109 to the other side, so that my highest coefficient stays positive. Now, when I take everything to the other side, so I'm going to get something like this: 16x squared minus 5x squared, and then minus 16x stays where it is. Okay, 5x squared turned negative because here there was a positive 5x turned to the other side, so it becomes negative. Now, negative 16x, the same way, comes down. 46x, 46 is positive here, goes to the other side, turns into negative 46x, and then plus 4 is just plus 4 when it's here. the the positive 109 goes to the other side, turns into negative, and now I have a negative 109. Therefore, now I have to solve the like terms. Now x squared and x squared is a like term with each other. 16x squared minus 5x squared just gives me 11x squared. Then I have a negative 16 and a negative 46. Now there are two negatives. Whenever you have two negatives, you add them up, and the answer you're supposed to get negative, right? A negative with a negative is equal to a negative answer, but you're going to be adding the two, which means that I'm going to add 16 plus 46. That gives me a 62. But because the two numbers are negative, I have the negative sign in the answer. So I'm going to write negative 62x. And then I got to check what is 4 minus 109. So that is, you subtract the 2 and then the sign of the bigger number. So 109 is the bigger number out of them. So it's going to be negative 105. So I'm just going to write 11x squared minus 62x minus 105. And that is obviously just equal to 0, because we took everything on one side, so it equates to 0. So this is my final answer, 11x squared minus 62x minus 105. And that is exactly what they have asked me to show. That's pretty much it. That's how you show. You need to see that once you have a right angle triangle, you're going to work it out using the Pythagoras theorem. Then once you have your squares, then you're going to open them up, and for opening up you will have a few square terms, and then a few other terms that we saw, that 2 times a times b, and then the b squared. So you keep on squaring, and then you solve your like terms, add and subtract the like terms with each other, and then equate them finally to in a format that is ax squared plus bx plus c, and then you result in your final equation. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching Easy Learn. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. If you have any questions, any confusions, you can drop them down in the comment section below. Thank you.